You're looking at the Falcon 9 launch vehicle carrying the Dragon spacecraft for SpaceX's CRS-4 space station resupply mission. It's early Sunday morning at our launch pad at Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral, Florida. I'm John Innsbrucker, the Falcon 9 product director. The Falcon 9 is currently counting down and is just over 14 minutes to liftoff. Liftoff is targeted this morning for 1:52:03 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, or 5 hours, 52 minutes, and 3 seconds Universal Time. Our launch window this morning is instantaneous, lasting 1 second. This is typical for our flight to the International Space Station. The SpaceX team is working on no issues at the moment. It's been a very smooth countdown, coming on top of our last launch just 14 days ago. The last cargo was loaded into Dragon yesterday while the rocket was horizontal. We raised the vehicle to vertical and counted down, but we had to scrub last night due to weather about 24 hours ago. Over the last day, the Falcon 9 stayed vertical on the pad. Propellant loading began at about T-minus 3 hours. We are now tanked with liquid oxygen and kerosene propellants on the first and second stages. Dragon spacecraft is quiet. Its last major activity was performed at T-minus 40 minutes. Dragon team is ready to be pulled for entry into terminal countdown. Air Force is ready to support with the range and tracking systems, and the weather is go. Let's listen to the terminal count readiness poll.
Fly ready for launch. All stations acknowledge. FTS.
FTS go.
Prop.
Prop go.
AVI.
AVI go.
GNC.
GNC go.
Ground.
Ground go.
Vehicle controller. VC go. Ground controller.
GC go.
Range coordinator.
Range coordinator go.
OSM.
OSM go.
ROC.
ROC go.
CE.
Go.
MD.
Dragon MBs go.
LD, verify we have a go to initiate terminal count.
Initiate terminal count.
Copy. Just a reminder that today's plus count callouts will be performed per procedure 3.170.
You've heard the SpaceX team give their go for entering the terminal countdown. That sequence begins at T-minus 10 minutes as the ground and Falcon 9 computers control the final events in the countdown, and Dragon computers do the same. Immediately after T-minus 10 minutes, the pre-valves are open to the 9 first-stage engines, allowing fuel and liquid oxygen to flow to the inlet of the engine turbopumps. Bleed valves are open to allow the liquid oxygen to chill in the engines to prepare them for ignition just before T-minus 0. Within the terminal count, Dragon will go to internal power at about T-minus 8 minutes. What you'll see inside of 6 minutes is the transporter erector retract away from the launch vehicle in readiness for launch. And then finally, in the last minute of the countdown, propellant tanks will be pressurized to flight pressures, and the Falcon 9 flight computer will command ignition and liftoff. Once the flight computer has performed its final engine limit checks to make sure the engines are satisfactorily operating at full power, the ground hold-down system will be commanded to release Falcon 9 and Dragon for flight. Now this morning we're going to hopefully see video as we go into orbit and separate Dragon and see the solar rays deploy. And we'll be back with you at the end of the terminal count sequence, but right now we're going to listen in to the last 11 minutes of the countdown this morning.
Dragon terminal count auto sequence has started.
Copy. If a hold is called from this point forward, the terminal count auto sequence will be aborted. Indicate an abort or hold condition by saying hold, hold, hold on the primary countdown net. In this event, the VC will immediately abort the auto sequence. The VC shall not abort the auto sequence after T-minus 10 seconds, and operators shall not call a hold after T-minus 10 seconds. If a hold is called, all operators proceed to the terminal count abort steps in section 10.64. Attention all personnel, stand by to pick up the count. T-minus 10 minutes and counting on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. VC, verified auto sequence has started.
Terminal count has started.
GC, VC, stand by on Fire X.
Standing by. Standing by.
RC starts tracking camera video recorders.
Recorders started.
OSM, set launch enable to flight.
Flight. Pre-valves open, starting M1D chill. Ground T-tip system setting
UTC
up.
Global. Sister acknowledges him.
T-minus 9 minutes. T-minus 8 minutes.
ACS closing out.
Tejas telemetry and ground station telemetry are nominal.
Dragon internal has started.
Stage 1 heaters closing out.
T-minus 7 minutes.
Sys 2 clearing thermal loop B and active alarms.
Dragon's
Stage
on
2
internal
heaters
power.
closing out. F9 switching to internal power and ground TVC system setting up.
T-minus 6 minutes.
Pressing up tanks for strong back lower.
Vehicles on internal power.
Solar recharging task is enabled.
Final M1D fuel bleed started. Upper cradle opening.
T-minus 5 minutes.
Dragon battery monitor is ended.
Starting in back TVC motions. Strong back motion started.
T-minus 4 minutes.
Pad and vehicle abort system setting up.
FTS is on internal power.
T-minus 3 minutes.
FTS is armed.
LOX loads closed out.
LD, verify go for launch.
SpaceX Falcon 9 and Dragon are go for launch.
Macro core trigger is set to high.
Final M1D chill.
Rock, verify range go.
Range green.
Helium is closing out.
Flight computers on auto idle.
T-minus 1 minute.
Flight computers in startup.
F9's in startup.
DC, verify Dragon is in startup.
Dragon is in startup.
Stage 2 pressing up to flight levels.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20. T-minus 15. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Flight computers in first stage.
We have liftoff of the Falcon 9.
First stage propulsion performing nominally.
Power systems and telemetry nominal.
T plus 60 seconds, altitude 5.8 kilometers, speed 250 meters per second, downrange distance 0.8 kilometers. Vehicles flying down the nominal.
I'm acknowledging GNC level.
Vehicles reach maximum aerodynamic pressure.
First stage for propulsion is still nominal.
Power system still nominal. Telemetry lock solid.
Evac chilling has begun.
T plus 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Altitude 38 kilometers, speed 1.16 kilometers per second, downrange distance 19 kilometers. T plus 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Altitude 61 kilometers, speed 1.9 kilometers per second, downrange distance 40 kilometers.
MECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Flight computers at second stage.
While silent, acquisition of signal.
And we have ignition.
Acquisition of signal,
T
Wallops
plus 3
Island,
minutes.
Virginia.
Altitude 93 kilometers, speed 2.12 kilometers per second, downrange distance 79 kilometers.
Nose cone step confirmed. All stations proceed to 7.101.
Stage 2 propulsion is nominal.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 power system still nominal.
T plus 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Altitude 156 kilometers. Speed 2.5 kilometers per second. Downrange distance 193 kilometers. Acquisition signal, New Hampshire.
Stage 2 propulsion is still nominal.
T plus 6 minutes, 20 seconds. Altitude 202 kilometers, speed 3.7 kilometers per second, downrange distance 420 kilometers.
Nominal telemetry on both stage 1 and stage 2.
Stage 2 prop is still nominal.
T plus 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Altitude 210 kilometers, speed 4.7 kilometers per second, downrange distance 610 kilometers.
FTS has been saved.
T plus 9 minutes. Altitude 207 kilometers, speed 6.7 kilometers per second, downrange distance 925 kilometers. Vehicles and terminal guidance. Engine cutoff.
Seco 1 confirmed.
Flight computers in separation.
Orbital altitude at insertion 359 by 199 kilometers, incline 51.644 degrees to the equator.
Newfoundland acquisition of signal.
Good orbital insertion.
Loss of signal, Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Dragon separation confirmed.
And acquisition of signal, Newfoundland.
Flight computers in post prime.
Well, we're looking at the view of the one of the solar arrays on Dragon. Falcon 9 has deposited Dragon into the correct orbit. We're going to just watch along with everybody for the next minute while we wait for the Dragon solar array deployment sequence to kick in.
Flight computers in array deploy.
Loss of signal, Wallops Island, Virginia. KMD on mission A for 7101, step 1.9, publishing command request 1, dot cabin, RH safe, RH system. Command is published. Sys2, please verify and lock. Sys2 verifies command request 1, cabin, RH safe, RH system. Command is armed. And executing.
Lost signal at the New Hampshire tracking station.
Good feedback.
And it looks like we have another successful launch of the Falcon 9 rocket and the Dragon spacecraft into orbit. A great ride by Falcon 9, and then Dragon separated, and as you just saw, deployed both of its solar arrays. With that, Dragon will then spend the next couple of days on its way to the International Space Station. So with that, SpaceX is ending the webcast, but remember to follow us on the internet at spacex.com, as well as our social media pages, as we continue through the remainder of Dragon's flight to the International Space Station. In wrapping up SpaceX, we would like to thank our NASA customer for entrusting us with the cargo, critical experiments going to the International Space Station. Thanks to the Air Force for the support out of the Eastern Range and ground station support around the world, and also to the licensing agency, the Federal Aviation Administration. And finally, again, thanks to all of you who have followed us on the webcast. We leave you with this shot of Mission Control Center SpaceX as the team begins the job of guiding Dragon to rendezvous and berthing with the International Space Station. With that, we'll see you for the next SpaceX Falcon 9 launch. Good morning and thank you.